For ASUSports.com, I'm Grant Boone. Fall camp for the ASU football team begins on Friday, August 3rd. It's the day before. We've got the head coach, Adam Dorrell. We've got junior linebacker Jeremiah Chambers. So, Jeremiah, maybe you should be in the middle. You're a middle linebacker here this year, replacing the great Sam Denmark, who is ASU's all-time leading tackler, who's moved on now. Tell me, as a first-year starter last year, now being a second-year guy, a guy that maybe has a little bit more expectation upon him. Tell me about that transition from a guy who hadn't had a lot of expectations now to someone who does.
It's a lot of pressure, following, like you said, Sam Denmark's, leadership spot that he had and his role that he had on this team. But I think definitely taking on that position, thanks to Coach Dorrell and all other coach staff and athletic students. But I think that we've been doing really well. I think that off the field wise, I think in the weight room, academics wise, leading by example has been a big thing of our leadership council and captains. I think we've been doing a well job of that.
You are one of the 8 captains for this team. I'll talk to the coach about that here in just a second. We haven't seen a lot of you since the spring football drills ended and the spring game. What has the summer been like for you and your teammates?
Summer's been pretty rough. Summer's always pretty rough, but I think we've, taken everything we've learned from the spring and, made it even better for our defense and offensive-wise especially. I think going against each other and, learning all these new things that we've had to, take on, thanks to our coaches in the summer, it will help pay off in the fall.
Let's talk to your head coach here. Jeremiah was a first-year starter last year, 50 tackles as a starter. He was an impact player really from day one, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. I think for me, I think the thing that we all love about Juice, that's what we call him, our coaching staff, is he brings a sense of toughness to our football program. He has an edge about him. He's a fine young man, great student-athlete, but like when he gets on the field, he changes, and that's good, and that's what you want in a linebacker. But just the persona he brings, the toughness he brings, the attitude he brings to the 212 defense, it's awesome.
That 212 defense, so named by Tremaine Jackson, your defensive coordinator, helped turn around, really create one of the biggest turnarounds in the Southland Conference. Yes. You limited your opponents to 9 fewer points per game, almost 100 yards less gained per game, but that was last year. There's a new set of expectations, and just maybe getting better, maybe that's enough. But what are the expectations for you, not just for the defense, but for the entire team as you sit on the eve of 2018 camp?
Well, I think for me, I want to pick up where we left off last year on defense. And, we made huge gains, before we had gotten here statistically in the bottom of the Southland and the FCS. And so we came in here as a coaching staff, put a lot of eggs in that defensive basket, scholarships, and those guys kept us in pretty much every game last year. And so we want to pick up where we left off there, but then be better on defense. Our rush defense has got to be better than it was last year. And then offensively, there's no doubt in my mind we're going to be better on offense this year because of the development, our strength staff and our coaching staff with our current players, and the talent that we've added to the roster. And then the quarterback, I think our quarterback's going to play really good. He's proven to me that he's a good player. And so those pieces are going to help us a lot. And then just from a team standpoint, just the culture that we feel like we've developed here, it feels great. We feel like that is moving in the right direction. And, we want guys to just compete every day, to have fun. I talk to our coaching staff right now in our program. If a kid's being a great teammate, if he's being coachable, if he's being unselfish, and he's giving great effort, that's how we're going to grade kids on in fall camp. And if I'm very confident if we get 100 guys doing that, 110 guys doing that, we're going to have a chance each and every week.
Can you put into words the difference you feel as a head coach beginning second fall camp here at ASU compared to the first?
Well, when you have a year under your belt, it doesn't matter whether it's the administrative part of it, travel, whatever. It just feels so much better. Like I said, it finally feels like it's our football team. I've gotten to know the players more, and I'm going to continue to do that. Like I said, with things we've done on our coaching staff, hired a new offensive line coach. What it's allowing me to do right now is really focus on our players so I can get to know them and try to help them develop in everything that they're doing spiritually, academically, and football. And that's what I'm excited about. I just felt like last year I spent a lot of time doing things just because it was the first year that you probably don't want to be doing as a head coach. And this year I'm confident I'm not going to have to do those things.
We're going to get to know a lot of your new players and your new assistant coach over the next several days as we do some of these videos preparing ASU fans for the upcoming season. But just let's talk about practice number 1 in fall camp. What would you love to see happen?
Just great tempo, great effort. See these guys, upperclassmen, captains, leadership council, show the new guys like how we practice. Because to me, if you go out there in the next 2 days when we're just in helmets, and these guys can show the young guys like what it's supposed to look like, what greatness looks like, tempo, transition, then they don't know any better. Then they know, hey, this is the expectation, we're going to go.
A quick word about that leadership council. That's important to you, isn't it?
Absolutely it is. You know,
First of all, what is it?
Here's the old adage. I mean, culture beats strategy, and I really believe that. And I think football programs, they're two ways. There's programs that focus on just recruiting talent and signing talent and X's and O's, and then there's programs that get kids and they look past their athletic ability. They look at the other things that they stand for, and that's what we're going to do here at ACU. So that's culture.
It all begins on Friday, day one of fall camp. And ACU takes on Baylor University in Waco on September the 1st. A lot of work to be done between now and then. For Jeremiah Chambers and the coach Adam Dorrell, I'm Grant Boone.